cunt, piss, shit, fuck, death to Israel, suicide. These are just some of the utterances I use to try and keep advertisers away from my channel. You're welcome. Welcome everybody. I am the air quotes comedian, a man who is to self-reflection what Vanta black paint is to the propagation of light, and this is the Polemics. Welcome. You might have noticed that I'm using my subdued, reasonable and amiable voice today, and that's because I'm being introspective this episode, a trend in comedy I haven't mined yet. Now, as you know, dear viewer, I quit making comedy videos some years ago but decided to come back and explain my absence, which I think I've done. I mean, obviously I haven't quit making videos, but there will come a time when I do stop, and when that happens, you can come back and watch this video to determine what happened. I'm a very angry person, and I've been angry for a very long time. I think when you first open your eyes to what the world truly is, most people are like, "You what?" Take racism, for example. When you first learn what it is, you learn so in the simplest terms, don't you? That people don't like other people because of skin pigment. Then, as you grow and gather more information, you realize that it also has a lot to do with making money by generally controlling the movements of populations. So there is an economic dimension as well, adding a layer of complication. Ultimately, it's the state that mediates the economy, and so we have the political dimensions that entails, and, of course, after learning all of this, we get to the ideology of said politics and the ultimate and long-hidden truth of racism, which is that people don't like each other because of skin pigment. Incredulity, dear viewer, is a state of semi-shocked disbelief coupled with a 5-alarm siren going off on your bullshit detector. I think incredulity is anger's co-pilot. You what? Because X absorbs Y more amount of photons than Z, there's somehow other? What are you banging on about, mate? So for me, it started in the late 80s. I looked around with my formative eyes and formed the opinion that surely administration had made a mistake. There have been periods of my life when I wasn't angry, and those periods I refer to as the dark times. Depression, nihilism, hatred. This is where one might expect to find and that was just the teacher's joke. But, as I said at the start, slightly after the start, I'm not including the cold open, that's superfluous, but as I said near the start, but not quite, this is introspective, and that demands authenticity. Or at least, the illusion of it. Sorrow, bleakness, blackness, thesaurus addictions, there have been some tearful times, trademark. And it is by offering up my vulnerabilities that I become real and authentic to you, dear viewer. By doing this and eschewing irony, I feel our connection is more palpable, whoever you might be. Anger is why I do comedy. If I hadn't done this, then I might have done something that was actually worthwhile doing and might have made a material difference, instead of farting into a microphone to amuse myself and like 2 other people. But I get to vent my frustration in creative ways and keep my anger to a comfortable baseline where I can at least function in society. Swings and roundabouts. To this end, I try to keep triggering things out of my life. People, I'm asocial, telephone calls, I don't want to talk to you, talk to the Faraday cage, and, of course, advertising. Things being the way they are, I live, in large part, in a world without advertising. I've managed it for so long that I am offended when confronted by one. I use uBlock Origin to block ads. They're not sponsoring this routine, it's just facts. My internet browser, Opera, you're welcome, future historians. And if that isn't optimistic, then I don't know what. My internet browser, Opera, was having trouble blocking ads on a streaming video website, and so I whacked uBlock Origin on, and now no ads. Did this free software install a keylogger or access my webcam in order to sell nose-picking videos of me to Russian oligarchs and one viewer in Wisconsin? Are people coming into my bedroom on a nightly basis to harvest my organs for the black market because I agreed to the terms of service? Who knows? And I don't care because no ads. There was a brief time when ads did show up on the streaming website before I got uBlock. Future historians, my optimism knows no bounds, future historians scratching their heads wondering why I don't just say the name of the streaming platform. It's because I think their name should be scrubbed from history. I'm a lot less irascible when I don't have to be violated by advertising. There are no adverts on my social media. I'm on Mastodon, on the Collectiva instance. You could come over there, couldn't you? Come over there and see me, and you could say, "Oi, oi, cunt face," and I'll be all like, "Mutual follow, all right then, mate." It's great there. The streets are paved with gold, and the people sing hearty songs. It's because they're free. There's no algorithm to stop them, and chronological post order keeps the popularity bullshit at bay too. Did I mention it's free? There was one time an advert popped up on my social media. It was some business who thought they might advertise their lumber or whatever it was. It didn't go well for them, and we haven't seen their like for quite some time. Get yourself on there. Do yourself a favour. There's not even adverts on the internet radio I listen to. Canal B, at least, not as far as I know. There are stretches where they talk, but it's all in French, so I can't understand what they're saying. It's all just, "Mais oui, bla bla, English fucks. Toujours des parties frolics, English bastards, saucisses, la gauche, I spit on the English and their pies. Pih! Vive la France, numéro un." But let's be honest, I think the ad format for Dave's Carphone and Air Mattress Emporium would be recognisable no matter what language it was in. Like Bill Hicks, I'd tell the advertisers to go kill themselves, but as I just marketed 3 things right in front of your face, I think I'll let it slide today because, amongst other things, I realised with my dimming eyes, administration has made no mistakes and everything is functioning as intended. You what, mate? That's all for this hastily written episode of the Polemics. Be sure to dislike the video and please don't subscribe to this channel. Mess with the metrics. That's the kinds of things I like to do.